It is Friday. It's the 5th of April. I'm Monita Rajpal. This is CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Making news today. Double the trouble. South Korea's Yonhap news agency says the North has now moved a second intermediate-range missile to its east coast. The report cites multiple sources, including a top government official who says the missiles are on mobile launchers at an unidentified facility. Yonhap is also reporting that South Korea has dispatched 2 naval warships to defend its coast. A U.S. official says communication intercepted from Pyongyang indicates Kim Jong-un could be planning for a launch soon. CNN's Jim Clancy has been following the very latest developments, and he joins us now live from CNN Seoul with more on that. Jim.
Well, you know, the launch of an intermediate-range missile is important because of its range.
Jim, thank you. Jim Clancy there in Seoul. In other news on our radar this hour, Japan's main stock index hit its highest level in nearly 5 years today. Investors poured into the market after Bank of Japan announced an aggressive new round of measures. Before retreating slightly, the Nikkei topped 13,000 for the first time since August 2008. The Australian Prime Minister Julia Gillard is on her way to China for a major state visit. She's expected to announce a currency conversion deal. Now, this would allow companies to directly trade Chinese yuan and Australian dollars rather than using U.S. dollars as an intermediary. China is Australia's main trading partner. Angry outbursts won't be tolerated, and that's what the UN's main aid agency in Gaza is saying after its offices were stormed on Thursday over aid cutbacks. The UN says budget cuts forced it to halt cash handouts, which hundreds of thousands of Palestinians have come to rely on. The aid agency says food relief will continue, but full operations won't resume until the atmosphere is safe. New chilling documents released concerning suspected mass theater killer James Holmes. His psychiatrist claims she warned police a month before the shootings that Holmes had made homicidal statements and was a danger to the public. Holmes faces 166 charges over the July 20 murders that left 12 people dead in a movie theater. Call a halt to your most sensitive nuclear work and will ease up on economic sanctions. That's the deal world powers are believed to have offered Iran before 2 days of nuclear talks in Kazakhstan. Those negotiations just got started today, and it is the second round of talks this year. Expectations are low, especially considering Iran's presidential election is just 2 months away. Monitoring the talks in the Kazakh city of Almaty joins us now live. And Ivan, as we're saying, their expectations are pretty low. Not a good start.
Well, you know, it's yet another round of this high-stakes haggling over Iran's nuclear program, where you have Iran on the one side.
Thank you, Ivan Watson there live for us from Almaty. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. The culling begins in Shanghai as more humans die from bird flu. How worried should China be? We'll bring you a live report from Beijing. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. I'm Monita Rajpal. Chinese authorities are taking action to stop the spread of a new strain of the deadly bird flu virus. Poultry markets in Shanghai will be shut starting on Saturday, and thousands of birds have already been slaughtered. At least 14 cases have been reported so far, and 6 people have died from the virus known as H7N9. It's David McKenzie. And David, how worrying of a situation is this?
Well, it's worrying for 2 reasons, Monita. Certainly avian influenza, or bird flu as it's more commonly known.
Thank you. David McKenzie there live for us from Beijing. The search for more survivors continues in India after at least 35 people were killed when a multi-story building, which was still under construction, collapsed. Rescue teams continue to comb the scene, which is about 10 kilometers from central Mumbai. 69 others have been pulled out of the rubble alive. Well, joining us now from New Delhi is CNN's Sumnima Udas with an update on what is actually happening now from the scene there. Sumnima.
Monita, it's been about 20 hours now since that multi-story building collapsed on the outskirts, in the outskirts of Mumbai.
Right.
And
Sumnima, thank you for that. Sumnima Udas reporting to us there live from New Delhi. And there's much more still to come here on CNN News Center, live from Hong Kong. We'll be right back. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. In sports, French football club Paris Saint-Germain's new owners from Qatar have transformed the club. They've spent millions of dollars trying to turn the French team into a European power, and it's working as they've reached the quarterfinal stage of the Champions League. CNN's Pedro Pinto went behind the scenes during a match against the holders of the French league title to speak to the man who writes the checks. Pedro Pinto there reporting. Well, the waters have receded for the most part after record flooding in Argentina. Meteorologist Mari Ramos is at the World Weather Center with more on that. Hi, Mari.
Hello, Monita. Now comes that very difficult task of cleaning up and seeing if there's anything that could be salvaged from the wreckage that's left of all of this water that was just...
It's normal. What are we looking at here? The 5th of April?
I know.
Wow.
Crazy.
Mari, have a good weekend. I'm sure you will. Thank you very much. Now, who would reject a kiss from a royal prince? Well, one unhappy little girl apparently did. The 4-year-old lass snubbed Britain's Prince William as he tried to plant a peck on her cheek during a visit to Scotland. Take a look.
Is that okay? Yeah, you want to give it to her. You look very pretty. You want a kiss?
Queen has made a better impression, apparently, than her grandson. Queen Elizabeth II has been awarded an honorary BAFTA for her role as a Bond girl. Yeah, she starred alongside Daniel Craig in the opening ceremony for the 2012 Olympics. Remember that? Watching CNN News Center, I'm Monita Rajpal live at CNN Hong Kong. Thank you for joining us. We'll update you the news headlines in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us.